Alright. Hey, Violas. Uh, gonna walk you guys through your part for Stairway to Heaven for today. I'm gonna be taking it in chunks. Happy day after Viola Appreciation Day, by the way. Um, First off, we're gonna go ahead and start at the beginning. First thing we notice, we don't have any sharps or flats in our key signature here, and we're in 4/4 time. So we're in A minor right now. So we're thinking F natural and C natural. So a lot of low twos when we're on our DNA string, which we're mostly for this piece we're gonna be on our G and D string. We can already kind of see that looking through. Here at the beginning, our dynamic says mezzo piano, but even though we're not in our rehearsal setting, thinking about like if we get to perform this, we're going to be playing with like 20 something violins, and there are 6 of you guys. So go ahead and be thinking, bring that up a dynamic level. This is mezzo forte. Yeah, pretty much everything here's high G string, D string, C, 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 blah, blah, blah. Watch out, accidental right here, F sharp. F sharp again here. Yeah, pretty much every time we have an F, it's going to be F sharp for at least this first little bit. So this should be pretty straightforward, I would think, all the way up till we get to here, measure 16. Just the important thing to remember, bringing up a dynamic level. Okay, so hopefully the first 16 measures or so really didn't give us too much trouble. I mean, it's mostly half notes with a couple eighth notes thrown in. Once we hit measure 20 pickups into 21 here, this is kind of more of where like the lyrical melodies starts. For those of you who are actually familiar with how this song goes, 21 we have the kind of the lower part of the melody along with the violins, and this is like the lyric singing part. So it's basically all on our G string with a couple D's and E's thrown in. So really not too bad. Watch out, there are a lot of like slurs, and it's not written in your part, but these first 2 notes should start on an up bow. All right, so because they're pickup notes, it's generally implied like no, you do want to start them on an up bow. You do have a little bit of a tricky rhythm here in 23. That might throw us off. Just remember the way that it's counted. You have quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, eighth, 1, 2, and 3, and 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3, and 1 and 2. All right. So that'll be how that part goes. And it's also not written in your part, but this A right here is also going to be just the way the bowing works. This is going to be an up bow, so you're going to have 2 up bows in a row. So kind of think of it like it's a hooked bow. Remember, we just give it that little pause and then nudge with our pointer finger to get that up to 25, and that'll sound like this. Okay, so we've hit measure 25 now. Rest on beat 1. Again, we're starting on an up bow here. The first 4 measures of this are kind of just like a little harmony part to what the violins are playing. Again, just watch out for your slurs. We got big slurs here in measure 27, so make sure we're using a lot of bow. And then once we hit pickups to measure 29, here, this is where you and cello have the melody together, and this is a variation on what we played back here at 2021. It's pretty much the exact same thing, but the slurring is a little bit different. You notice here that these are individual notes. These aren't slurred. These aren't slurred. So just make sure we're paying close attention to like the variations and how this is supposed to sound, and that'll get us all the way up to 30. Okay, so we have now hit measure 33. And 33 rhythmically looks like pretty complicated, but it's really not too bad, especially since it's really just two notes that are involved. We've got dotted 8/16ths and then a lot of like upbeats. But measure 33, the way rhythmically that this is going to go, it's going to go 1, a 2, and, right? So with the metronome, let me turn that on. All right, so we've been a little under tempo this whole time because we're still learning. But 33, 1, a 2, and 3, 4, 1, a 2, and, right? So, like all of these like isolated eighth notes that you've got, it's not letting me select any of them. But all of these isolated eighth notes that you've got throughout this are going to be on the offbeat. So make sure you're coming in on all the ands through this section. Alright, so a couple things you probably noticed through that section. One, we've got lots of the double up bows, down, up again. And the other important thing is this note right here, and you've got it again here. Just every time you have this note before this really long note, make sure we're making that a really big down bow. That way we've got enough room to come back for the up bow. You probably even heard me kind of struggling with maintaining the tone on that. Of course, I was going a little under tempo. Like this tempo is marked at 96, and I was about at 75, so that makes it a little harder. All right, so that's pretty much everything you need to know about 33 through 41. Okay, we're now at 41. 41 just by yourself is definitely not going to be too tricky. Just make sure we're playing with a strong sound. Literally everything is accented. One thing that could throw you off a little bit at 41, whenever we come in on beat 1 and everybody else comes in on the and of 1, so whenever you hear that, don't let that throw you off. You guys are like the big like hit section at 41, 1 and rest, 3 and rest, 1 and watch out. 44, we come in on the and of 1 here, 1 and same thing at 48, 1 and 2. Right, so that's really all there is to this section here. Okay, 49 really should be like the most straightforward out of everything so far. This is, the body percussion stuff. We did this in rhythm and blues. This is essentially the we will rock you, stomp, stomp, clap, just happening. Just make sure we're keeping up with what measure and what beat we're on, and we'll have this section done real easy. Alright, we are in for the home stretch here at 57. 57 is going to start out real similar to what we already did back at 41 here. In fact, the first measure is exactly the same. Every other measure is where it gets a little different. It's only a little syncopated, not too bad. So you have, here's 58, 1 and 2 and, right? 1 and 2 and, right? So just make sure we're not playing on beat 3. We're resting, holding all the way over onto 1, and then that just is going to repeat over and over until we get to this fermata. While the cut 65 is going to feature a violin solo, everyone else is going to come in at measure 66. We've got the C here. Remember, if you don't remember, these slashes right here mean tremolo bowing. So just playing and holding a note, right, for the duration of 6 counts. And then forte piano means we're going to start the note forte and then instantly back off to piano. So think, like a real strong attack, like initial on like the first part of beat 1, and then just instantly bring it back down to piano. All right, I'm going to turn off the metronome. So that's basically going to cover everything you need to know about your music. Good luck practicing. I hope I get to see you all soon, and that we get over all this nonsense quickly and safely. Again, if you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email, and then I'll always be sitting in that just that open Zoom meeting. I give you guys the link for it every day if you just want to stop in and say hey or ask a question about this or your solo and ensemble music. I am open then. That's 1 o'clock every day. But if that time doesn't work for you, I can always, set up another meeting whenever. I'm, like many of you, just stuck at home doing this, I guess. I'm a YouTuber now. All right. Stay safe. Hope to see you soon.